Okay, I really look like a little kid. Why do I look so tiny? Don't I look like I'm at the big kids table? Like why do I look so little? Anyway, I don't know. I mean, my buddy who is like sunshines and rainbows all the time, which is a good contrast for the two of us. He was telling me that he's a comic and he's reading this business book about how business and comedy and science, and like the scientists did this like big study about regular adult people in the country, not like you and me, not the people we know because we live in a whole other world, right? But most adult people after 30 laugh average twice a day, if that. Huh. And I was like, he told me that. I go, yeah, I think that just means, let's wrap it up. I think that's a wrap on the human race. It was a good time. We did some cool shit. It was a good experiment, but I think that's a wrap on the human race. And he was like, I heard that as like, that means what we're doing makes a difference. He was like, us making people laugh means that we should keep going because people don't laugh enough. And I'm like, I heard that the news and the media has taught us that all we should do with our lives is work, 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 have a child, have a baby, work, 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 retire. They take care of us. They're mad about that. Then they work, work, work. And then we all like it. My spiritual belief is that this isn't the last stop in my soul's journey. You know what I mean? I think that we come back many times or we go other places, but I don't think that this is just the human body I get to be in this time. Like, yeah. So it's not that, and that sounds suicidal. It's not. I like it here. I like being Kym Kral, but I don't know, man. This is, at the very least, this is Mother Nature thinning the herd.
No shit, dude. Like back east where I used to live, they're getting tornadoes and roofs ripped off, and my grandparents, my in-laws.
Oh, it's like your grandparents are still alive. Sorry.
It worked not that long ago. But my in-laws had to be boated out of their house like 3 nights ago. Like the fire department little skim boat came to their house and like, no, you got to come out of your house now. Like the water's coming into their house. Like they've always lived like the creek behind them would flood here and there and come up the yard a little bit, but never like into their house. And it's just like, yeah, this shit changes, and
did you?
But
I saw a picture of a seahorse swimming in the ocean with a mask stuck to it. Outside my apartment, there is 3 trash bags that were just dumped in the grass. We are the virus. We're the virus. I'm not some conspiracy theorist, crazy person who thinks the man's after us or whatever, but I do believe the earth is a living organism. And when a living organism has a virus, it heats up. And what is the earth doing now? It's getting rid of a virus. And that is, it's us. I don't believe everybody is. I don't mean that. I know, and that sucks. And that, like, good humans like you and me are going to be collateral damage in the whole thing. But let's wrap it up, man. I'd like to see how it all goes down. I know I don't have children, so I know it's a little bit of a different story of me being a little blasé about it. But a lot of friends I have who have kids are like, I know I'm going to have to take care of them in days and it's going to be a little hard, but it's, or I don't know why this isn't mentioned at the higher ups a little bit more, but why don't we just make 2 countries? I know that's different than the climate change, but like the United States is like the couple that everyone is like, just divorce. And they're like, no, we don't want to because we're the best. And we got together when we were young and we're going to make it. And it's like, people in Arkansas don't want to live the way we do in California. And we don't want to live the way the people in Arkansas, by that, I mean guns and abortion. You know what? Split it up.
I think because
I threw a lot at you right out of the gate.
That was a lot. But no, like the right side of history is like, here's the thing. And I've been thinking about this a lot because of the whole like Texas thing lately and abortion and all that.
Yeah, I know about Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it just blows my mind that we're talking about it and making like in like what I mean is we know the answer. The right answer is that it's a medical procedure and you should be allowed to have it if you want. You know what I mean? Like I think, and I have kids, like I had to really think about it. Like, I think it's just crazy that there's people talking about it in courtrooms and stuff in this way. And the only reason that could possibly be, if you even want to think about it and give them any slack at all, I don't believe this at all, by the way, but it's just like, they must believe that this is the most important thing ever. Otherwise, why are they pushing so hard? You know what I mean? Like they believe it.
I think it's
so much, or there's some other reason we're not seeing, but like, I just don't get it. I don't get why we're talking about things that we already established, kind of.
Well, the beginning of all of this, if you look at the original Bible, a lot of the figures in the original Bible, which you and I will never see, the original Bible has a lot of figures in there that are strong women characters.
Yeah.
They took those out.
Yeah.
It's women are, sorry, but we give birth. We're superior in a way, right? But that's scary. It's all fear. And so it's like, you can call religion all you want, but the people in charge, it's about money. And it's about like our constituents are fear-based, God-fearing people. That's a saying. I believe in a God. I don't believe in a God that has me a God-fearing Christian. What the fuck? Yeah. Like, I don't believe in that. And it's
bananas.
I mean, I'm tired.
Dude, to get that much, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you've ever done anything administrative, like DMV, any of that bullshit, Social Security, unemployment, all of the things that are a real administrative nightmare, magnify that by 1,000,000. And that's the amount of paperwork it would take to do the shit that they did, like the recall and like the abortion.
Oh God, the recall.
That shit, right? It's like somebody like that's shitty work. Like that's bad. And if in your heart, you know, you're doing the wrong thing for humanity, like that means a lot of people care that much to go that deep, spend that much money, waste that much time. Like, why the fuck? Like, what? Why? Like really, just it's crazy. Given
money and power, man.
They use their powers for good. We could really prosper.
I mean, at the beginning of the human race, we all could just be like, "Hey, we live on this really pretty planet. We could just like." Drink this thing I made, wine, and swim naked in the water all day and just like love each other. It's a wrap. Let's wrap it up. It's done. The earth is going to be fine. Whatever creator we all believe in is probably going to create a new thing, or maybe some of us will stay behind. I don't know if I'm one of those people, but like, yeah, like I'm not, my Aunt Vicky believes she's one of the 144,000. She's a Jehovah's Witness. Like she doesn't say it because she's not allowed to, but you know, that bitch believes she's one of the 144,000. Yep, yeah. And I don't believe that I'm that good, but I'm saying like, wrap it up. Keep like, I don't know, 15 of them.
That's a weird number, 144,000. Why?
I don't know. You try to stay. I grew up in that religion, and I wasn't baptized with it, but my mom's side of the family was. And I learned early on that if I asked too many questions, that equaled I was interested, and we're going to really give you a lot of attention and maybe give you some more books and call you a lot and have you come over. And it's just like, don't ask a lot of questions. You hear the thing, and you're like, and the internet didn't exist then, so I couldn't Google why 144,000, and actually, I will forget about this as soon as we get off the call because I mentioned it a lot and people always ask and I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, you should look it up. And I'm like, yeah,
why not? Yeah, that's such a dumb number, like in the grand scheme of humanity. It's like, I give my son shit all the time, like, cause he like talks about like all these shows that he likes that have like kingdoms and princes and princesses and like these like kingdoms and kings and queens. And this, like Disney does it all the time. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's the dumbest idea ever. Like the whole thing. He's like, and shows do it all the time. I wanted to rule the world and all this crap. I'm just like, who wants that job? Like I can
Donald Trump.
But practically think about it. Like, could you even control, or would you bother wanting to control the people in your like living complex? Like, a dozen people.
No, people are horrible. They're idiots.
So why? Like, it's just like, dude, like what? That's so dumb. Like the whole concept is.
When I call my landlord for anything, I kind of think my landlord came in the middle of the night into my apartment last night, and I have to figure out a way to ask him without accusing him of doing that. I'll explain my thought process. I know I sound really crazy, but when I call my landlord, you can tell he has had to deal with idiots all day, because I'm like, hey man, it's Kym from apartment 11. And he does this. Hey, what's up? I'm like, not anything that's that big of a deal. Like, and I'm not a tenant that calls often. In fact, I avoid them as much as I can, because I think they're really worried about their. Now you need to know why I think they came into my apartment in the middle of the night. I brought that up, and then I was like, I'm done. Bye. They're really worried about their water bill right now. They pay the water. And when they're like, if you're like, hey, this is happening in my apartment, they won't. I live in a rent control building, so they'll be like, oh, maybe we'll take care of it, you know. But if it's something they're worried about, they're in the next day. And so they're worried about the leakage of the faucets. So they sent someone in here to fix everyone's faucet. And truthfully, the guy they sent in here was so unbelievably creepy, and so creepy, like to the point where I'm like, if I ever ask again, like 2 of them came in to fix, and then the one came back. He was creepy when his friend was there. And then he came back later alone to check it. And then he was just like hanging out in my living room. He's like, you look nice. I'm like, what? I'm like, did you fix the faucet? And I'm not nice. You know what I mean? Like, I look nice, but I can turn. I'm like, fuck off. Get out of my apartment. And he's like rubbing his tummy, and his like fucking like pants are around. It's really hard being a woman. It's just, you guys are lucky that we don't want to burn this shit to the ground, because we're close. And so he just so got to the point where I was like, if I ever have, like, if the faucet's broken again, I'm going to tell my landlord, like, you either need to be in here while that guy's in here, or I will have to call other people to be here. Because that guy is, every spider sense of me was going, my spidey sense was like, that guy came back by himself, whatever. So they called a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks ago, my landlord, his wife called and was like, hey, our water bill is still high. Have you noticed anything about, you know, the leakage that was happening that we fixed before? And I was like, honestly, I'm going to level with you. I didn't notice a leakage before you fixed it, and it looks the same as it did before. So I am assuming it's fine. And I didn't hear anything since. Okay, so now the following part of the story is going to make me sound like a slob. I don't care, because it'll be important for my proof. So I live alone, and I get a lot of hair in my drain, and I clean it out probably like 3 or 4, like every 3 days, right? I don't do it every time, which I guess makes me a trash can, but like every 4 days, I'll just pull the big clump of hair out and put it in the trash. And then I also had this, what is it called? It was like scrub, like a body scrub that I finished in my shower a couple of days ago, and I just left it in the shower. So a little bit of slobbish, whatever, right? But I left it in there because I didn't want to throw it away. I wanted to recycle it because it was plastic. So I had like, there was a method. So I left it there, and then I showered, and then yesterday it filled with water and then dropped in the sink, or in the bathtub. And I don't remember dumping it and picking it up. I remember going, oh, if I leave it in the middle, it'll remind me to put it in the recycle bin. And then I saw the hair. I was like, oh, you better do something about that. And then I didn't. And then this morning when I went to go shower, the hair was swiped aside, not in the drain, but swiped aside, like someone like moved it out of the way. And then the plastic was up on the thing. And I was like, that's weird. And then I thought, well, maybe I picked it up and I don't remember. That's possible. I have really bad brain fog right now because of, you know, the whole thing. For those of you listening, I have long haul COVID. So I have bad brain fog. And so I was like, maybe not. But I have a screen door that is like I sound so crazy. Anyone who's listening, I'm like, the world's ending. My landlord broke into my apartment last night. Hear me out. So I have like the what's it called? The screen door that you get that's like a metal, and you have to get a lock for it, right? What is that called? Security screen door.
Yeah.
So I bought one of those only because I wanted a screen door and I have cats and they try, and the cat part doesn't help me not sound crazy. Just two, not a lot more. But like when I'm gone, I don't lock that because they don't have a key to that. And just in case something goes down in my, and I want them to be able to, like if something catches fire, I want them to be able to come in here because I have cats, right? So I never lock it. But when I go to bed, I lock it specifically because of the guy that fixed the thing, stuff like that. Like, I'm like, just lock it when I'm alone in here, whatever, right? So when I showered, I was like, well, I'll just check the security door when I leave. And if that's unlocked, it was unlocked. Both were unlocked. So they would have had to pick the lock. I know I sound crazy. My buddy said I should just call and say, hey, did you guys come in and fix the sink last night?
While you were gone or while you were home?
While I was asleep, I think. I've been taking melatonin quite a bit lately because I can't, long haul COVID stuff. My sleep is all over the place for the last year. So I could have just been out. I don't know. Does that make me sound crazy? This isn't part of the podcast, but maybe it'll be interesting for people who think their landlord breaks into their house in the middle of the night. Thoughts? Questions?
I think, it sounds really crazy, but I can't imagine being that like vulnerable, I guess. You know what I mean? Like that's rough, They
cut a lot of corners too. I've lived here for a long time. I don't know. I just can't imagine them doing that. But there's also things they do where you're like, that makes no sense at all. Why in what fucking planet do you live on that you would do that, right? And
if they were checking for leakages, right? Like you got to play it out. If the whole point was we got to get to the bottom of this water leak problem, and I think it's Kym Kral's house, and she's not going to let us in, so we're going to sneak in and see if she's lying about the leakage, right? You'd have to get to that point, right?
I think that they would just go. They know me. They would just go, can we just come check? And I would be like, yeah.
Like a decade?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I probably just forgot to lock the front door.
I think that, and probably just one of those random things. You did clean it up and you just forget because it wasn't important. You were probably doing something else or listening to something else and mindlessly moved the hair beast and the...
But why don't I just throw it away? The trash is right. I am a lazy human sometimes. I'm a human. Humans are lazy. We're lazy.
God.
So
that
makes more sense.
It's super creepy if somebody came in your room to check the water leak quietly and then left.
And also you'd have to admire the audacity, or the balls, you know what I mean? Like what if I was wide awake? What if I was a light sleeper? What if I have a gun?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they probably didn't come into my house in the middle of the night. I wish I went on a hike with my buddy Whitney today, right after I discovered this. And he was like, maybe. And then he helped me construct a question so they couldn't get out of lying to me. But everything you're saying now is like, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. They're not. And they would just ask me.
Whitney's way might be more fun. He yes-ended your paranoia.
Yeah, but I spent the day thinking my landlords just come and go as they please.
Well, I really hope not. That would be bad.
Yeah, all right. What were you said you had questions before I started talking about the end of the world. I'm calm about it. I'm not scared about it. I don't have a go bag or anything. I'm just I think if it was up to me, I'd be like, if that whole Noah's Ark thing was real for you Christians, isn't it about time he does that thing again? Because
dude, I heard Bill Nye, the science guy, talking to a guy that was super into the whole Noah's Ark story. And he was just debunking it with regular facts and just sciencey normal things. And the guy just had a story. He had a story and he believed it 100%.
Wait, people believe
that Noah's Ark was real.
The Bible is fables. That's what the Bible is.
But some people don't think that. Some people think it's real. There was an Adam and there was an actual ark. I believe there was a dude with an ark with animals on it and that they got flooded because the earth floods. And somebody probably tried to save his farm or something. And they were like, here's a lesson. When it rains really bad, you can live if you build a boat and get your animals on it and go somewhere else. Sometimes shit's flood. Think about it, be all the things that you really wanted to warn people about, but had no way to tell them. It'd have to be a fantastical story so you'd remember it. Be like, dude, this guy builds an ark and he gets all the animals. It's like, nobody was questioning it. We barely questioned each other 10 years ago before the internet existed.
Oh, yeah.
Be like,
now we actually each other all the time. And it makes me, that's a wrap. Let's wrap it up. We're done. We peaked as a society. Let's take us out, God, or whatever.
I gotta hope that the news is just making it worse and it's not actually as bad as we think. Like all the data points, like COVID has been a motherfucker and it's changed a lot of stuff. But I don't know, man. California seems way more paranoid about it than anywhere else. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's why our numbers are down, but
it's 100% why our numbers are down.
Nobody knows though. Like, it's just like, what the, like, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Like literally my daughter's school's like 2,000 people. They've had 2 cases. Great. Then I guess.
Are they wearing masks though? Or most of them vaccinated?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the teachers are all vaccinated.
I got to assume so. I think the district mandated it. So it's just like.
Yeah.
I think
because masks and vaccines work. That's why there's.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
right.
So
there's a solution is all I'm saying. I don't know if it's end of days. It just is going to take longer. Like it always takes about 2 years. We should be embarrassed that it's going to take us 2 years or more to realize the right answer. That's given our level of sophistication, technology, and ability to communicate. It's really stupid.
I think it'll take longer. And
been like, oh, here's what we do.
I also realized today something really scary. If Trump had won, more people would be vaccinated and we'd be closer to get out of this. Because people on our side of this history, the right side of history, wouldn't be like, oh, I'm not taking the vaccine because Trump said to do it. We'd be like, oh, vaccines work and we trust science. So we'll just get the vaccine. And then Trump would be like, get the vaccine. And all the people who are afraid of what's in it or whatever the hell their arguments are these days. It's, you know what I like? And not saying that I wish he had won. Believe me, I did stuff to make sure he didn't win besides vote, but today I was like, there would have been a lot of bad stuff, but we'd probably be closer to getting out of this thing because people would have gotten vaccinated because he would have told them to.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know. Hard to say.
Who knows? Let's just wrap it up.
I think he's just the greatest con man that ever lived.
Oh yeah.
And it's, got to give him props for that. He just fucked up a lot of things on the way and didn't give a shit,
He was the president of the United States when the vaccine rolled out. He was probably the first to 5th person to get the vaccine. And he has successfully convinced everyone the election was faked and not to get the vaccine because it's Biden, even though he was the one who helped get people like, I can't anymore. I don't.
Are you on TikTok at all? Do you do TikTok? I think you're on there a little bit, right?
A little bit. I'm not very good at it.
It's crazy that platform. It's really, really, really interesting. I've been like studying it from afar because it's fascinating to me what's going on. It started with Jacob Givens because he had viral, right? And he's doing really well, and that's great. But until then, I'm blaming him also for like making me see this app for what it is. But it could do a lot of good too. So I think we're just like figuring it out. We're like training wheels on all this social network shit because it is really useful to spread information. It's just bad for spreading. It's really useful for spreading bad information too. Yeah. So we're not self-correcting the way we're meant to is the way like science self-corrects along the way. It's wrong a lot and then it self-corrects. This has just allowed the wrong to keep going and like mirror itself. And it's pretty scary, but it's super addictive. And I know that because you can set your timers on your phone for apps. Like you can limit my usage of this app to 5 minutes or whatever. And then it'll ping you and say, hey, it's been 5 minutes. Do you want to ignore it? Or do you want to
keep going?
And it lets you keep going in different increments of like 15 minutes or a minute or forget it for the day. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. I'm just like, it's like a drug. It's like a crazy drug. You're like, no, I need a little bit more. Give me another 15 of useless, mindless garbage generally. But like, then like I find a gem, like something like I'm watching all these like not construction workers, but like contractors do jobs because I'm moving and I'm going to need to do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's masterful. Like the shit he's doing. Like I never would have thought to do it this way. So that's where I'm like, it's really cool. You just have to figure out your algorithm. And if your algorithm is hateful bullshit about the government, masks, or the vaccine, then you can find a lot of info about that and just keep going. And
yeah, there's a lot of that on there.
Dude, I like the people that debunk the people though. That's kind of fun. Like that, like everything the person says all like about vaccines is like, no, that's not true. Yeah, this isn't true. And you're like, yeah.
There's a science lady who will stitch with other people and they'll be like, these are the things I know about why you shouldn't get a vaccine. And then she'll just very calm. She's like, that's not true. That's actually blah, 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 blah. Oh, that is true. Nope, that's not true. That's partially true. Yeah, I like her.
Yeah.
I don't know. TikTok is fine, but
I don't know
too many adults I know bring it up in casual convert. Like, I saw this TikTok. And I'm like,
how bananas it is. That's what I'm saying. How crazy.
Yeah, it's annoying. Have an original thought. Let's talk about what you're up to. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I like when I see my friends like Jacob go viral because it's cool for that shit. But like, other than that, I'm like,
I'm just fascinated by it. And it all points to this whole like human behavior experiment we're in and watching like unfold in real time and disappointed in. You know what I mean? Like to your point, like wrap it up. We fucked it up. Like it, I don't know.
We had a good run.
I have to have hope. Because like other than the pandemic, shit is always crazy. Like our parents' generation had Vietnam and civil rights movement, and we're kind of having our own kind of civil rights.
Yeah, the civil rights movement never happened. It did, obviously, for history purposes, but like it didn't get executed. It changed enough to shut people up.
Yeah. It's incremental though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the world is better than it was. It's just we're not seeing it because this is the other thing I thought about social media. Did you ever go somewhere where your phone doesn't work at all? You know what I mean? Like you weren't expecting to not be able to use it? Like,
yeah.
Okay. It becomes useless. Do you realize? Like, not just because you couldn't make a call if you wanted to, like, you don't even need to look at it. You're like, oh, it's not getting a signal. I'm not even going to look at social. You know what I mean? So like, if it wasn't 24 hours a day streaming new shit at you, it wouldn't be that bad. But it is because it is. And same with the news. Like the news didn't used to be coming at you constantly. It used to be just like, all right, we only have 30 minutes with these people. Let's tell them the really important shit, right? Now they have to tell us everything. And some of it's not that important.
They don't even it's not even that they have to tell us everything. It's ratings.
Yeah.
So it is both sides. And Fox News, believe me, is eons different than CNN, but both sides are like, the sky is falling. It's a reality show. So if you want to get your real news, get it on. I was going to say something conspiracy theory, but I couldn't think of anything.
I don't know where to get it. That's
QAnon.com. Just kidding. I get it from a place called Skim.
Skim.
I think I'm frozen. Skim. It's a daily email, and it's a women-run company where they go. It's bipartisan, and they give you like a rundown of each thing you should know every day. And then there's links to articles that are like, this is what happened here. If you want to know more, here is an article. And even in the 4 years of Trump, I mean, at the end, when he got a little like way more over the top than he was in the beginning, they still managed. You could tell at the end, and they were like, so Trump did this thing, and we are just going to tell you about it and act completely neutral because that is what we promised you. But it is really hard. But like they're neutral, and it's like, just here are the facts that are happening. And I read that every day. And then what do you watch? Huh?
Sounds refreshing, I said.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah. But sometimes you think, I don't know, maybe we're just as far in as we'll ever be out, you know? Like we're just, the light at the end of the tunnel feels like it's right there. But if you turn around, it's the same side. And it's just like, maybe we are just meant as humans to fight about everything. And if, you know, like last week we're all like, people were angry about the women's rights in Afghanistan. This week they're smiling because the heartbeat bill was passed. The same people. There are people that are saying masks in schools are traumatic, but no gun control. It's just, none of it makes sense. And having an argument with these people is like, I would be better off arguing gun control with my cat.
Yeah. He might listen. How's he doing, by the way?
He's good. He's right here. He's good. I think. I don't want to get too excited about it, but he's acting the way he did before he got sick. And he's been off of his meds for a little over a week now.
Well, that's great.
And he's been home from the procedure for a week. He's apparently, that's Whitney told me I should tell my landlord, the only reason why I'm asking is that Henry is radioactive and I have to wear gloves while I'm home handling him because he's giving off radiation right now. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys were okay. Because it's true. I do have to he has flushable litter right now. I guess I only can cuddle with him for 30 minutes a day. He's not allowed to sleep with me right now. Sometimes he's sleeping with me. I'm like, you know what? In 30 years, when I get cancer, which we all will get, the world we live in, chances are I will look back and be like, well, it's because I buried my head in my radioactive cat for 2 weeks. And you know what? No regrets. That's my best friend.
Oh, man. I wanted to compliment you on your book. It's excellent.
Oh, did you finish it?
I read it in a straight shot.
Really?
Yep. I wanted to wait to talk to you about it. So I read it Friday or Saturday. Yeah. It was excellent, man. It was hard to read. In that, I was just like, fuck, man. Had a lot of shit go on. It's horrible, and eye-opening, I guess, a little bit to just see kind of the depths of mayhem that go on and people get away with. And yeah, I mean, I looked at it as like a study for cause I have a daughter, just all right, well, this shit's out there. This craziness is out there. It's like, holy.
Teach her how to love herself.
Yeah, big time.
That's it. But you laughed some too, though, right? It wasn't just a bummer.
No. It wasn't bad, but I was just like, holy shit. No, it was funny. And you can hear your voice in it. You know what I mean? Just congratulations. How's it been? Reactions and stuff. And you can talk about it however you want, as if the people here don't know who you are.
Good. One person was obnoxious about the whole thing. She wasn't right away. This woman bought my book and she's the only reaction that's been annoying. She was just like, there was a typo she didn't like in it. And I was like, I'm a human.
Yeah.
And other humans proofread it that's what their job is. And even War and Peace has a typo in it. That's kind of one of my favorite parts about books, right? Michael Malone, right? He wrote a book in quarantine, and he was telling me about how he hated it because he had so many typos. And I was like, honestly, I love that about a book, because it means we're all still human. And I don't think I have that many typos, but this woman goes, not every book has a typo. And I was like, actually, she goes, no. And I was like, why are you she is the only, and then finally I was like, girl, what's the name of your book? And she was like, I wasn't trying to be. And I was like, she was just one of those people who was going to shit on me no matter what I did. But other than her, which I'm just saying, you're saying what reaction did I get? I feel like I'm being really loud. Am I being really loud?
You're fine.
Okay. I also am really sunburned and have been in the sun for 7 hours today, and I feel like I'm like, da, da, da. But everybody else, the feedback, Jen Murphy read it, and she was like, I didn't want it to end. she's like, I don't read books. And I was purposely like, I wanted to keep reading, but I was purposely like slowing down because I didn't want it to end. And
yeah, the stories are really good, really like tight, really well crafted, and you know, it's like, it kind of reminded me of a little bit of like Fear and Loathing.
Oh wow. Thanks.
Like it's a romp. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, Jesus Christ. And you know, it's over a long period of time, but it was really fun. Like I said, I went through it in one sitting. I was like, this is, you know, it was really good.
And that's what I try and tell people. I'm like, it's on the surface, it's funny, crazy dating stories, like fucked up, crazy dating stories. But under each story, there's a woman who's doesn't love herself and is, you know, looking for love in really sad places. And and then learns how to love herself through all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's good.
Good lesson. Huh?
Good.
Yeah. It's, I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of it. I started in the quarantine. I don't know if you know the story of when I started it and how it came about.
I know some of it, but please elaborate.
Yeah, I started in the quarantine, like when quarantine started, when the lockdowns happened. I was in a spot. I mean, I talk about this on Crawl Space. I was in a spot where I was like, I don't think I'll be okay in a lockdown alone. Like I was on the teetering edge of a person that was either going to completely fall off or get way better. You know what I mean? And thankfully I was like, well, you either can, you know, thrive or, you know, do horribly in this quarantine. And we didn't know how long it was going to be. We thought it was going to be 2 weeks. And 2 weeks to me was like, I'm going to die. Just because, you know, I talk about it in the book a lot. I didn't love myself, codependency, all kinds of things. And instead I was like, I'm going to double down and I'm going to work on myself. And so I've always wanted to write this book about the men I had dated and the crazy date. Because every time I told the crazy dating story, people were like, you should write a book. And I was like, yeah, I kind of want to. And it started off with being a book about dating. And then I was going to do like a Zagat guide. So then like rate the restaurants that I went on these dates.
Yeah.
And the first couple chapters I was writing, I had that theme. And then I started really writing more deeply and honestly and vulnerably. And then I realized I was like, oh, this restaurant thing is because you don't think your stories are readable, like good enough on their own. And they are.
Yeah.
So just keep writing. And then as I was writing them, I got my heart broken. Your show is mentioned in there. Sam is in it, but Sam's name is changed.
Oh, wait. Which part is it?
The chapter's called I'm a Fraud. It's about a guy named Jack who broke my heart. His name is something different. I won't use his name because I've been advised legally to keep the names to myself. But it was one of Sam's really good friends. And he broke my heart twice, actually, in the last couple of years. And I mean, you hear me on Crawl Space. If you listen to Crawl Space, I talk about him a lot.
Yeah.
But I had that heartbreak and which it's so funny because we ended again. God, when did we end again? May, I think. And I knew I had written a chapter about him the first time he had broken my heart. And I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't planning on keeping the chapter when things were working out again. And then I went back to read the chapter and I was like, it was so healing because I was like, oh my God, he did literally the same thing he did to me last year. Literally by like step by step, literally. And it was so healing for me. And then I was like, I think this book is going to give people, like Jen was like, there's stuff in there that I read that I needed to read. It was like therapy. So they're funny shit, but then there's also like, hey, you don't have to put up with that. I don't know why we all think, and so I started writing it and then I got COVID, or then George Floyd happened. And, I paused the podcast for a bit. Everything just seemed like nothing mattered because this big thing mattered the most. Right. And though it still really matters, I picked it back up like 3 or 4 months later and then I got COVID really badly. And then I was down for like 4 or 5 months. And then I was like, I have to finish this book. Even if it's bad, I need to finish it because there are so many people in our industry and in the world, in our country. I grew up in a household where it was like, I'm going to take care of that tomorrow. I have these big ideas and big projects. And I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I watched my dad my whole life be like, I'm going to redo the garage. I'm going to make the basketball court bigger in our backyard or whatever. And I'll do it this weekend. I'll do it. And every weekend and I was like, you are never going to publish this book if you don't just publish this book. And so in January, when I was still, not being able to really walk up the street and stuff, when I was like pushing myself to like walk, I was like, before my birthday, let's do this. And I did. And one chapter didn't make it to my editor because it was really hard to write. Hey there, Josh Norton. Yeah, that was like the first heartbreak of my life. And it took me a year to write that chapter. I don't pawn over this guy at all. I think he's married with kids. Like if I saw him, I'd be like, good to see you, man. Like we're like that guy and Kym Kral would never have been to get like that. We had our course in our history, but it was such I was as painful and honest and was trying to like really bring up those emotions. And I almost didn't put it in. And then after I gave the book to my editor, I couldn't sleep for like a couple of weeks because I was like, that chapter needs to be in there. And I was like, let it go. You didn't get it with the editor. And then I was like, and I'm so grateful I put it in because I think it's one of the better chapters.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's incredible that you were able to pull that together. I mean, you should be really, really proud of yourself and
thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right about making sure people know those things. They're just, you got a real shit run of a childhood, like you had to figure a lot of shit out, and that's amazing. So I think it'll help a lot of people. And you said you're going to do an audiobook too, right? You're going to record.
Yeah. It's a full blown nightmare.
Really? Why?
Huh?
Why?
Oh yeah. I've been doing voiceovers, right? Like I got a couple of voiceover stuff that's under my belt, and my buddy, who's amazing, love him. I actually, not the first show I did with you, but the first 5 Threads show I did, where I was like one of the first times I felt like a comedian, actually, where I met that guy that broke my heart like 15 times in the last year. I have sort of like I don't know, man, you broke my heart like 5 times in the year that I was writing a book about getting my heart broken. Did you not think you wouldn't be in the book? I changed your name, so whatever. But Justin Ruppel has been helping me, who's an amazing dude, great comedian, with voiceover work. And so he'll listen to my shit and he'll be like, there's too many clicks. Drink some water. It's this, it's that. So he's helped my like game really well, but he also now has me hearing things that before I thought I'd just pull up my book and be like, introduction, da, da, da. And then, so I'm working on it, but my goal is to have it by December, and every one of the Patreon subscribers on my podcast will get a free download. And so my goal is by December, because I thought I'd wrap it up in August. I was like, oh, I'll just read it every day and then I'll just put it together. Nope.
Are you editorializing it at all, or are you just reading it?
I don't know what that means. Oh, you mean like commenting as I go? I did a couple of Patreon, which if you're a Patreon subscriber, which I know that you give a bonus. I have like 5 bonus episodes that are ready to be posted. It's just been I've had a long couple of weeks. My best friend was very sick.
Yeah.
That's my cat. And I don't care if that's sad. People look at you and they're like, your cat? And I'm like, yeah, best friend.
I get it. I have a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, he's laying right here. It's hot as balls in here. And there's one fan that's on me, and he could lay closer or whatever. But so I this episodes where I'll read and I'll be like, oh God, that was rough. So I'm doing that, but I want to do a straight. So for Patreon subscribers, they'll hear the editorialized chapters, but then the one I'm going to sell and put out is just going to be an audiobook.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I think that's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. No,
Yeah.
it's cool. I know you've been like talking about it a lot and bringing it to shows and stuff like that. And I think it's awesome. I mean, I don't know. You know, I think you're a fantastic comic and a great writer, and I'm just really psyched for you to have pulled that together and all this. Like, it's a big deal.
I'm learning now. The next goal is I'm reading how to write a dramedy. And I think I'm going to make it a pilot. And I have a friend who's like, yeah, that's what I do. Marcus, he's like, yeah, as soon as that's done, give me the pilot. And
yeah.
So I think right now it's slow because I self-published. And of course and that was another thing about like self-love with it too, if you're like doing a project of your own. I like 2 weeks before it was going to be published, I was having a lot of like meltdowns, right, over every little thing. I misspelled the word forward. So the first 100 copies, the word forward. So I tell myself that means you have a limited edition.
Right.
I lost a lot of sleep over that. And then I was like, you're just going to have to change it. And then when that bitch was like, there's a couple more typos, I was like, I'm going to slit your throat is what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to watch it bleed out all over my book, not yours, because you don't have one. So maybe stop criticizing people. I don't know, but there's a lesson in that too. No one will criticize you. No one who's doing more than you will criticize you. You know what I mean? It's always somebody who's whatever. But God, what was the whole meltdown about that I was just doing? Oh, so I was like sitting, thinking about, panicking about whatever, there's 1,000 things I panicked about before I published it. And then I paused, I got really quiet and I was like, hey, let's think about this. You've never done this before. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be perfect. There are going to be a lot of fuck ups. But the good news is this isn't going to be the last thing you publish. And it's still a good book. So no matter what happens, you're going to learn from it. It's going to be a great experience. And let's just try a little bit to not be mean to ourselves. Mm-hmm. Right. And after that, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And so there are things I would do differently because it isn't getting as much traction as I wanted it to. But I think Lizzo wrote that song that everybody loves like 5 years ago. You know what? So who knows? And my agent was like, I don't have a literary agent, but I have a commercial guy. And he goes, you never know who reads that. And then they'll call you and be like, hey, I'd like you to re-release this, but we're going to pay you this much. And we're going to do this whole, like you just never know what's going to make you pop.
It's pretty timeless, I would say, other than Uber Lyft.
Because that's probably going to go away.
Well, I don't know. It just like, that's the only thing that to me was like time stamped it. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying like, it's such a good, and I mean this in the most complimentary way possible. It's an incredible airport book.
Oh, that is a good compliment.
Like you're at the airport, the cover looks great. This will be fine for my flight. And at the end of the flight, you're like, holy fuck, that was great.
That's a good book.
Like, so the only thing that puts it from being able to be an airport book forever, I think, are things that stamp the time in that way. You know what I mean?
Sorry. Okay. Did you back up the way you do if someone has a sneeze?
Oh, like run out of the room screaming?
Instinctively. Yeah. You kind of like went like this. And I'm like, we're not in the same room.
Maybe I did. Dude,
I mean, I would prefer it to be timeless because of Uber and Lyft, not timeless. Like some things aren't timeless because like someone wrote a book and then they offended a bunch of subcultures. And then 20 years from now, it's like, well, you're not allowed to say that about that group anymore. And I'm proud to say that once I get famous, there will never be a thing that a person will be like, you tweeted this off-color thing 40 years ago. Because like, I just don't have that. I don't know if that's a weird thing to bring up, but that's what I thought you were going to say, where you're like, the only thing that's sort of, I'm like, oh God, did I offend anybody in it?
No, I think, no, you're right. And actually that it's not bad that it's not timeless and that it's putting this context on the story. And it's going to be very rare for people to not know what Uber or Lyft are. So never mind. Forget
my Oh, good. I proved you wrong. I got you. Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about like perennial work is if something's around for 10 years, the likelihood that it's around in another 20 is way larger. So like, I just think it's a great airport book, like beautiful cover. It's like really bright and cool. And like the texture of it's good. It's just like, man, this is good.
It's a good book, right? Like
it's really fun. Yeah.
My buddy who is a hypercritical person about everything. He's just kind of one of those people that's just, I don't think you'll ever be happy. You know what I mean? Like he's just a hypercritical person who's always like, well, everything's kind of shitty. Yeah. He read the book and he goes, I was really worried about reading your book. And I'm like, oh yeah, I wasn't super stoked about hearing your opinion on it either. And he goes, well, and he's right. He's like, when your friends make art, it's always a little scary to see. Yeah. Like when my friends first see my comedy, they're like, oh, thank God you're funny. Because he's like, you have to like come up with like, you look really good in green or whatever, right? And he's like, your book is really good. Like, I laughed out loud funny and also like really introspective. Like it's real. And I was like, honestly, this is the most proudest. That's the right word. I wrote a book and I don't, but it's like the proudest I've ever been of anything. And I got to get my story out and also have not only like fun story, but like a message that like Jen was like, there's stuff in here that people need to hear about self-love.
Yeah. 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 It's awesome, dude.
Thank you. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah. I want my limited edition signed the next time I see you though, too.
Which will hopefully be November 3rd.
Dude, I hope so. I don't know.
I kind of, I hate to break it to you, but I've been using the sentence, well, when the winter surge comes, way more than I'm comfortable with.
I'm not. I agree. I'm still not. Like that's not that far away.
It's a month and a half, right? A little over a month, almost 2 months. It's 2 months.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a trip. I've been thinking about it a lot. I miss it a lot, but I'm also like, I got to go back different. I think you and I have talked about this. Like, it's got to be different. It can't be the same way that it was for me. It can't.
I mean, there are people that you can tell are like, it needs to be the way it was. And they're like trying to force a square peg in a round hole. I don't think it can be the way it was for anybody, anywhere. And I also believe the variants keep happening. This is another maybe crazy thing. I think we're still in this because we haven't learned whatever the fuck we're supposed to learn yet. There's still people that are like, yeah, but we still need to work the 40-hour work week and we need to do, and it's just like, we didn't learn what it's going to keep going until we figure out the universe has stepped in and is trying to send us another direction. And there's some people who are not wanting to go the other direction.
Yeah. And it seems like a lot of those same people are correlated with wanting the old book to be right. Like they're the biggest purveyors of the, God comes down and strikes all this pestilence and horror into us. It's like, isn't this in your book that you're talking about?
Isn't this literally what's happening?
Fire and flood. I thought that sounds really familiar to me, biblical even. Like,
yeah, it sounds like your God is fucking shit up because we're not doing a good job. Like,
and I heard I heard the coolest thought about that, which is like, how can you pray? And I'm, people are religious, cool. Like I grew up in a religious household too. Like it's just whatever. But it's like, how can you pray for a miracle? It comes maybe in the form of a pharmaceutical company developing a vaccine, and you're like, oh, no, that's not what I meant. Like,
yeah. Well, have you ever heard the story that there's a flood? It's town floods, and everyone's getting out, and this guy climbs to the top of his house, and a boat comes, and they're like, get in, and he's like, nah, I prayed to God, he's got me. So they drive away. And then a helicopter comes and it's like, get in. And he's like, nah, I prayed to God, I got it. And then a third transportation comes and they're get in, and then he dies. Yeah. He gets up to heaven and is like, what the fuck? I prayed. He's like, dude, I sent you a boat, a helicopter, like, and then whatever the third thing is. And you said no to all of those. And that's what's happening right now, I think.
Yeah.
And I believe in a higher power, a God. I'm not religious. I think that's cuckoo, but like, I also was raised around a lot of it. I'm not uneducated about it. I think makes no sense. But I believe in a God. But like when they're the fear God mentality, or the like, well, that I just don't have that kind of God. I'm like, oh, I have a loving universe that wants us all, everything to work together. Like, but there's some Christianity people who think that they need to be afraid of that, and
crazy
that women are second rate. That's my Jehovah's Witness aunt sent me this long thing. I haven't talked to her since, because I have set this boundary many times where I'm like, yo, I will have a relationship with you, and I want to do that, but I don't want to ever talk about your religion. I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to, we don't agree. I don't want to talk about it. And in turn, I'll respect your boundary where I won't say fuck a bunch. Right? They don't like the word fuck. I don't say fuck when I'm around them. Right? They're like, do you mind not swearing? And I'm like, yeah, I won't say fuck. That's fine. As long, don't ask me to go to a fucking Kingdom Hall meeting and I won't say fuck. Right? And I, for a couple of years now, since we've gotten into our relationship, have upheld my end of the bargain. My aunt has sent me multiple emails inviting me to some whatever bullshit here and there. And I've ignored it. I've just been like, I don't know how else to say my boundary. But at this point, I need to say, a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 months ago, time isn't real anymore, but she sent me this long thing telling me I should go to this thing because they're really, and this organization, I can't even remember, but she tried to use my women's rights advocacy as a way to get me there. She was like, they are really good about women's rights. And I was like, oh, that sent me through the moon. I was like, I'm going to fucking burn down a Kingdom Hall meeting and I'm going to send you a video of me doing it because that's how angry I am that you won't. And now you're using my soft spot to get me involved in your bullshit religion. Your God is mean. You have a mean God. And also women are subservient to them. My cousin is gay and he grew up in that religion, and he spent his whole life dedicated to this religion. And when he was like 35 or something, he came to me and he goes, and they kicked him out of the religion, right? When he came out finally, and he goes, I'm gay. And I was like, yeah, no shit, dude. I've known that since we were like 5, yeah. Right? And he was like, yeah, well, I knew. And this is what turns me off about the whole thing, is because this human, this loving human that is one of the coolest people I've ever met, spent his life dedicated to this fake bullshit God. Yeah. And then once he came forward and said, well, this is who I am, they shunned him. They kicked him out. And he said, the reason why I never came out is because I knew the day I did, I would lose my family. And then it's funny because I sent him a text about what our aunt sent me about, the women thing. And I was like, I don't know how much clearer I can be. He goes, look, the only way I got them to leave me alone, because for years they kept being like, if you quit being worldly, that's what they call gay, quit being worldly, then you can come back to the truth. That's what they call Jehovah's Witnesses. This is for all you at home who make me, I do sound like a cult because that's, but he said, finally, I sent them a letter that said, I'm never coming back. And I think it's either a toss up between how much I love fucking dudes or how much I love drinking whiskey. I can't tell which one I love more, but I know that you won't accept me doing either. So I'm not going to stop fucking dudes and I'm not going to stop getting hammered. So if you can accept that about me, I'll talk to you. If you can't, I think this is, and he said he made it so graphic. He goes, look, I was real drunk, smoking a cigarette and writing it. And he goes, and they've left me alone since. And I'm like, I don't know if I feel good about sitting that to Aunt Teresa. Look, I fucked a woman in the Jameson stall at a bar in the middle of Hollywood on a Tuesday night because I was fucked up on Jameson and I like women sometimes. Do you want to ask me to? Right? But she's a nice lady. She just doesn't,
She doesn't need that.
Yeah, she doesn't need that. She's got her heart's in the right place. She just wants me to be a part of the 144,000 or at least part of paradise on earth or whatever they believe we'll all die. Oh. And then the good ones will wait.
Oh.
The bad ones will just die.
Oh.
And it's not good or bad. It's the ones who know about the truth.
Oh.
They'll wait. And then one day Jehovah will bring paradise to earth, and then we'll get to live on earth in a paradise with each other.
Hmm.
But my gay cousin doesn't get to be there.
Have they ever been to Hawaii?
Probably. Actually, you know what's yeah, my aunt has for sure. You know what's wild about Jehovah's Witnesses? Race is not a factor. Like you would think they'd be super racist of some kind. Not at all. They are very world traveled. They're everywhere. In fact, like growing up, like white people, like in the Kingdom Hall, it wasn't like how I also grew up Catholic. So like the Catholic Church was like mostly white people, right? Like majority Littleton, Colorado, but in a majority white town of Fort Morgan, I think that's where they all lived, which is a majority. Like I mean, there's Hispanic population too, but it was like super diverse. So yeah, they've been all over. They go all over teach it. My cousin lives in, it's not Yemen because that's the place where like humanitarian crisis was, but it's a place close to a bad crisis was happening in the last year, and she's there preaching her Jehovah stuff.
But what I mean is like, what does the paradise version look like?
I don't know. Lions hang out with us. Like they're like animals. They're friends with us. It's really pretty. I'll take some pictures for you. I have a child. I have a Bible, a children's Jehovah's Witness Bible.
That's so cool.
I never got rid of it because why would you get rid of that? It's incredible. So like there are pretty pictures. It is very pretty. And to their credit, very diverse too. It's not just like you would think if you taught like anybody I tell that to, they're like, really? I would just think it would be just white people. And it's not at all. It's very diverse racially, but women are subservient in second.
They got some things right, I guess.
Yeah.
We're not going to be racially profiling everybody, but women,
women and the gays, man. We're not. And when I was a kid, my papa, my dad's side of the family was like, and he and my grandma are actually the people I dedicated the book to. No one reads the dedication. Did you read the dedication?
I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Most people don't know what that is because they don't read it. They just flip to chapter 1 or introduction.
It's like in the middle of the page. Like, yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's me that I just flipped to the introduction. But if my friend wrote a book, I would read the whole thing. Right. But my papa was like, the best person I've ever met in my life. He died, I don't know, that guy died like 20 years ago or something like that. I still haven't met anybody that I like more than that guy. And when I was a kid, he was Catholic. And I knew that Jehovah's Witness was like, well, because he's not a Jehovah's Witness, he isn't good. Even though he's good, he's not good. And I was like, that makes no sense. That guy's the best guy I've ever met in my whole life. And I've met a lot of people at this point. At this point, he's been dead 20 years, and I've met like a handful, thousands of people. Yeah. And I've met a lot of really, really awesome people. That guy was the best guy I've ever met in my life. Yeah.
It's weird the labels we throw on people, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. People are crazy.
Well, maybe that'll be the wrap. Maybe that'll be.
It might be. But
you know, in the world.
Glad I know you.
Yeah, I'm glad I know you too. And if the world, when the world's in flames and I have a sword in my vision, but I don't know why I need a sword. I'm thinking about buying a gun. So I have a gun in my vision. And while you're defending your family and I'm defending my cats, you'll be like, God, Kym Kral was right. That was a wrap on the human race. Or maybe there's a revolution of some kind coming though. Something big is coming. You feel the heat, right?
It seems worse than it's ever been. But I don't know. I don't know what that means yet.
I mean, in order to heal anything, you've got to expose the wound. I don't even know if that's true, but you have to I know that with me personally, we talked about briefly the traumatic childhood. The only time I really started to heal that is when I stopped making it a secret and I talked about it ad nauseum. And it was really, really hard and really fucked up for a while. But then that was when I was able to heal. And I think that's where we're at right now. It's just really hard and fucked up for a while.
Yeah. I think you should get a sword.
I feel like that's the best way Henry would want me to defend his life.
You don't have to reload, like it's kind of badass,
Yeah. Like a samurai one or like one that like Sword in the Stone? That seems heavier though. The Sword and the Stone one.
I think you'd be like more deft with the samurai, like Michonne kind of.
I was just gonna say like Michonne.
Yeah.
Even though she's not in The Walking Dead right now, because I don't think her and Maggie can exist in the same universe. Because Maggie killed Rick and everybody knows it.
See, I tapped out a season or two before all that went down.
Oh.
So I don't really know how it turned out. Like I forget when it was, like when Negan survived, I was just like, I can't watch this anymore. It's too crazy. Why is everybody listening to this guy? Like,
which one did he survive?
I don't know. They had surrounded him and attacked and all this. I don't remember. Maybe season 4, season 5.
Oh, I love The Walking Dead.
I know. I should probably finish it. I got that into it, but then I was just like, I don't want to. It seems too like, I don't know. All the shows started around it, and the Fear the Walking Dead, and I was just like, why don't they get away? The country's really big. Aren't all the zombies gone yet? Like,
no. Think about how many. We've talked about this.
Why did they stay in that one town? Like, let Negan have the town. Just go somewhere else.
Well, there's dead people everywhere. And also, you could ask that about a lot of people where they live in a shitty place, and you're like, why don't you just move? Because humans don't leave. Also, what I like about it is I like watching things that show humans adapting and being humans and learning and growing and loving and doing what they got to do. You know what? I just love that kind of shit. And but yeah, Maggie killed Rick and everybody knows it. Daryl knows he's part of how Rick died. Rick didn't die. I know he's going to be in the Rick Grimes movies, but like what happened to Rick was Maggie and Daryl's fault. Daryl knows it, and so does Maggie. That's why they both disappeared for 7 years.
All right.
And they're both dead to me over it, except Daryl, because Daryl actually feels bad. Maggie just came back a cunt. I also realized I watched all of season 10. I was watching season 11, episode 1, like 2 weeks ago. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. I don't know who any of these people are. And so then I like, well, I'll just go back and watch like I'll watch the season finale of this. And I'm like, well, I remember that one. Okay. And then I went back a couple more. And then I realized that I watched the end of season 9 and all of season 10 when I was really sick. So I rewatched season 10 and I was like, I don't remember. This is a new show to me. Cause that's how, I mean, don't get COVID, man. It's not a fucking joke. If you get it the right way, which is not what I mean, but if you get it in a certain way, its job is to go inside your body and destroy everything. And some of us, we get to live and some don't, and some nothing happens to them. But that's why it affects all of us differently.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. So I watched all of a season of Walking Dead and I didn't remember any of it. I was like, that guy dies? Like I like one of the guys dies, and I was so sad. And I was like, did I watch this? Because I remember that guy was bad, but I didn't remember he killed that guy. I was very sad. I love this show. I love it. Changed my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pick it up again. Maybe there's never a shortage of what to watch. They just keep coming. The shows just keep coming.
And the Fear of the Walking Dead is just, I watched it. It was really good. And then they replaced the female strong lead. This is a big deal in the blogs because I was like, I'm kind of annoyed by this. But then they replaced it with Morgan, who's the black dude, which you're like, okay, well, at least it's not another like white dude in charge or whatever. Like at least it's like, but what about the female lead? Why couldn't they have existed together? And we never found her body either. There's a lot of stuff but then it got a little too campy. And then the nuclear war that didn't affect anybody else, like the other Walking Dead show. It's like, well, we launched the nuke in Texas and they're in Virginia. And I think there's holes in that.
I always just question the geography of it. Like they have access to all the cars, all the gas. I would have been like, I'm getting out. I'm leaving.
Gas is gone.
How long after society's collapse is the beginning of The Walking Dead? There's no more gas. They're driving trucks.
No, they have gas, but they have to start snuffing it. And then eventually it starts to run out because people are snuffing it everywhere. And the shortage of the dead bodies, you and I have only lived in this world a very short time that this world has had humans on it.
Oh, all the dead bodies come back.
All the dead bodies come back. Every dead human comes back.
But they decompose fairly quickly. So there would only be like 100 years worth.
That's a lot of dead people. How many dead? I know, like once a year, I'm a fortunate person that I get to lose a lot of people in my life, but I'm a fortunate person where I know a lot of people. So that's why, you know what I mean? That sounds so grim, but I lose 12 people a year and I'm one human. Think about it. How many people die in 1 year and then times that by 100? That's a lot of people. And think about all the bodies that weren't properly buried. Like how many murderers that are just put at the bottom of like John Wayne Gacy's house, like that situation. Yeah, they weren't properly buried. They just got up and...
But people barely leave there within like 10 miles of where they were born, most people.
Are you the person that you watch Speed with and they're like, that bus would have never... Of course not. It's a movie. Watch the movie. Enjoy yourself. The world's on fire. Enjoy yourself.
I'm justifying why I didn't finish watching The Walking Dead. I rationaled myself out of watching it.
It was probably because of after Glenn dying. Glenn dying, a lot of people were like, can't do it.
Yeah, that was pretty horrific.
And then a lot of people after that happened were like, you're going to kind of love Negan. And I was like, no way in the world will I ever forgive him for what he did to Glenn. And now I'm like, y'all did a lot of stuff you didn't want to do at the end of the world. Y'all murdered a lot of people. Maggie, you murdered a lot of people too. Negan, we just happen to have loved Glenn. But at the end of the world, you all did shit you're not proud of. And you all got forgiven. And Negan likes kids and, he got really close to Rick's daughter. You really should rewatch it.
Do you ever watch Star Trek? Any of the
No. Sorry. My father was really into them. So I think I just have weird memories about watching them. Not like creepy dad memories, but just like, so I think there's something in me that is like, I'll never be into this. But I think it's just from...
The Next Generation one with Jean-Luc Picard. As one where he goes back and lives a completely different life in a dream. Because you talked about living other lives and like, we're going to come back and all that stuff. And it always reminds me of like that one Next Generation where he goes back and is able to live a life completely with the knowledge of the life he already lived. Right. So he goes back in time, but he remembers being the captain, but he has to live again in this other whole timeline. It's just bananas. It's like the story, like it reminded me of like these layered stories that are just out there. And it's like, fuck, man, what do we know?
We know nothing. I don't know about you, but the older I get and the more I learn, the more I'm like, I know nothing at all. I know nothing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Every day. Just trying.
Just be kind, man. That's it. Just be kind. I don't know, this guy that I used to work with and he hated me while we worked together. I don't know why. I've been the same the whole time, but now he likes me. I don't know why, but now he likes me. But he's pretty Trumpy. And I haven't seen him in years, but so I have him in my general mailbox on Instagram. So if he messages me, I never see it. But sometimes I go to the general just to make sure I don't miss something that I need to see. And so I went to his the other day and I clicked it and he has been commenting on all of my political stuff for like 3 years and like angry paragraphs. And he commented on the abortion thing. He was like, I don't understand what your fucking problem is. If you live in Texas, just drive to Arizona and get the abortion. Fucking problem solved. Anyway, you're going to be at the Bronco game on Sunday? I'd love to see you. Really miss you. Love you. And it hit me. I was like, that guy's never going to hear what I have to say. And I could, like if he ever was like, hey, I'd really like to hear how you feel about women's rights. Since you're the one out of the two of us with the uterus, I would love to hear your perspective. I would gladly sit and talk to him. But what was I going to write back on the Instagram? Fuck off. Oh, this is how women are. These are the statistics. And now I'm in my point in my life where I'm just like, I am better service to humanity, learning as much as I can and doing different ways. Like, we've never made any changes by screaming at each other. We've tried that. I've tried that. Look where we're at. So I just ignored the abortion stuff and was like, yeah, I'll be at the Bronco Bar on Sunday. Hope to see you there. Bring your wife. She's lovely. Wonder if she thinks women should just drive to Arizona to get. But I'm like, there's never been a group of people that have made laws that affect you. Like, there's never, like, you've never had to deal with that. So but now it's just like the older I get, the more evolved I get, the more I'm like, I don't know anything. And I can't fight with people. Like, again, explaining why I should have autonomy over my body and it shouldn't be legislated through government. I would be better off talking about that to Henry, my cat, than I would be the guy who's ready for a fight. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Just be kind. I like that.
Just be kind.
I know you got to wrap. Thank you so much for being on the show, and your book is amazing. I'll put links in the show notes, and
thank you.
It's great.
Thank you so much. Good to talk to you too. Take care of yourself.
All right, I will.
That you're really a part of me. Yes, I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair ain't never gonna go too well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know too well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything come what might for the sake